Welcome to Psychodrome, not to be confused with Videodrome, which is a pretty good movie from David Cronenberg. Psychodrome is a book I'd never heard of, though Manny Shape, the creator of El Crudo, just happened to mention it to me. And then a couple weeks later, it shows up in my mailbox. What am I supposed to do? Except try to read the thing. So I've made it through the first chapter here. I started on it a little bit yesterday or day before, and I finished it up today. And I kind of like what it's doing. So Psychodrome is some mid to far future world. They have poorly explained technology that effectively does magical stuff. And we start off in the middle of a combat sequence with our main character, who's also the narrator. The book is told in first person, at least his first chapter is. Dude's name is O'Toole. And he's a mercenary soldier in a suit of power armor. This is kind of Starship Trooper-ish. And him and these other mercenaries are also in power armor, and they're fighting on behalf of a corporation. Now, that corporation is fighting another corporation, because apparently that's how war is conducted in this society, is two corporations go fight over land. Governments don't want to get involved until the fighting's already over, because why risk, the bad press of losing soldiers in a war, right? We do a ton of storytelling and world building all at the same time. So we got like great action here. We're in the middle of an action sequence, and our hero, O'Toole, he's in his suit of armor. He's got a jetpack. I damned Breck to hell. Breck is like the super soldier guy that's also a mercenary with him. And there's a third mercenary we're introduced to. Is she on this page? Stone, that's her name. She's a woman. Breck is a guy, as far as I can tell. And Breck talks people into jump into laying down, covering fire so the rest of the unit can move up. And our hero jumps. I damned Breck to hell. And hit the thrusters on my jetpack. The audience was going to get a first-class show. I could imagine some fat slob sitting in his living room, plugged into a Psych Fidelity set, and sharing my experience. Yeah, of course, Psych Fidelity, sci-fi. Do you get it? I guess you got it. So at the same time we're doing this crazy action sequence with far future space guns and rockets and lasers and stuff, we're also learning about the world. We're learning that this technology called Psy-Fidelity, that our hero, O'Toole, his experience is being recorded, transmitted, broadcasted, and pumped right into other people's brains so they can experience what he was experiencing. It's interesting. The combat is described kind of reminds me vaguely of something Starship Troopers-ish, except they're not checking nukes around, which is definitely a Starship Troopers novel thing. It also reminds me of, there was a movie like circa 1990. Roger Corman produced it, I think. It was named Robojocks, which is all about corporate warfare and stuff like that. So we got like some of that going on. And of course the whole psychically broadcasting a war to people's minds, and it's a real war. That makes me think of Mojo from the X-Men, which is appropriate because there's an X-Men book laying right under here. It's an interesting set of stuff. I don't know when this book was written. It's got to be the 80s from the color of the paper. 1987. So this book came out in 1987. And there's some interesting ideas been thrown around. That the first couple paragraphs were a little rough, and then I settled in and just ate up. Like, I read half of that first chapter in one sitting, read the other half in the other, like when I sat down for 5 minutes. That second half just went by like, boom, like a snap. It's very interesting. So, Manny Shape, yeah, I'm going to totally crease this poor book to death by the time I get done reading it. But Manny Shape, thank you so much for sending this to me. It looks interesting. And you at home, like, check it out, man. I don't know. I like that first chapter. Maybe you might like that first chapter too, if any of those random influences I mentioned seem like your kind of bag. So you all take care of yourselves. You have a great one. And that'll do us for Book Chat today. Bye-bye.